Meantime, tonight, I sat down with the Attorney General of the United States, Jeff Sessions, inside the Department of Justice. First up, immigration, sanctuary cities, and his recent trip to the border. General, thank you so much for allowing us here. By going to the border this week, you sent a message to a lot of people, and that message was loud and clear. The border is not open to anyone who just thinks they can cross it. And you, in addition to the message, you provided a mechanism with 125 new immigration judges, with a policy that's being sent to the United States attorneys that cases are going to be prioritized, that when we've got gang members who are coming in for a second time, their cases are going to be prioritized. Border Patrol agents are going to be protected. You did all of the things that were ignored for the past 8 years. Is it going to make a difference? It's going to make a difference. And the biggest difference is the message Donald Trump's election sent and his leadership, which is this border is not open. If you come to America, come lawfully, don't come unlawfully. And that's already, I think, a huge factor in the decline in the attempts to enter America. So we're on this virtuous cycle where you have a decline in attempts to enter America. We had March was the lowest month in 17 years. Right. And it was 72% below President Obama's last month in office. This is really a remarkable alteration. When President Obama, in the summer, I believe, of 2014, and he said there was so much poverty in Central America, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, there was a lot of talk by Border Patrol agents that a lot of gang members, MS-13, from El Salvador were coming into the country. Border Patrol agents and sources were telling me that a lot of them were saying, yeah, I'm a gang member, what are you going to do about it? You have to let me in. With the influx of all of them, they're here. So even if we do close that border, and I believe that the message is there, the mechanism is in place, you put it in place. Now, what do we do with the ones who are here? How do we find them? How do we identify them? And how do we move them out? We're going to go after them. We can defeat those gangs. In 2006 and 2007, MS-13 was severely damaged. Its murders and crimes were way down, but they've come back over the last decade, and we can do it again. We are going to do it again. They need to know right now we're coming after you, and other gangs too. But the MS-13 is a particularly violent gang group, and it does need to be stopped, and we can do it. And then we're going to deport them after they've been convicted and served their time, and it's not going to be so easy to get back in the country. Well, let me ask you this. You and I both understand what it takes to get initiated in this MS-13 gang. It's Murder Incorporated. I mean, that's what they do. If we have someone who is entered illegally and is simply a gang member, but a gang member of MS-13, is that grounds to prioritize their case and remove them? Yes. No person can come into the country illegally and not expect to be deported. I mean, where did this come from? So somebody gets past the border, they spend a week in the United States somewhere, and then they're caught. They get to claim they don't have to be deported, don't deport me. That makes no sense at all. So we need to restore lawfulness. We need to tell the people, don't come illegally. If you want to come, wait your time, and when people start doing that, we'll see a great improvement. And if somebody commits a crime while they're here legally or illegally before permanent residence, then they can and should be deported. I'm optimistic, like you. I believe that the message is clear, mechanisms are in place, but there's so much to do. We need more judges. We need more courts, too. We are doing, what I've done is I've examined the hiring process. It takes way too long when we're going to cut that way down. So we'll have 75 new judges next year. We'll add 50 new ones within the next few weeks. Actually, we'll have 50 more at the border, and this will help us a lot. Just this week, Fox News, Tucker Carlson, started a whole movement. He had a mayor on, and who indicated that he was proud of his sanctuary city, Lansing, Michigan. It turns out that after a lot of discussion and after a lot of people watched, they called a meeting, and it turns out that Lansing is not now going to be a sanctuary city. What are we going to do about those sanctuary cities besides not giving them grant money? First and foremost, they need to listen to their constituents. I do not believe the people of Lansing, Michigan wanted an individual who came to the country illegally, who got convicted of an assault or crime or murder or rape or drug deal, and is under the U.S. law shall be removed from America. Right. Why would any city want to say, no, you can't remove these people? They get to stay in our community. It makes no sense. So first,
The voters of these cities need to hold their city councils and mayors to account. The police works for the mayor. Sometimes they'll support the mayor, but I've talked to police officers. They think this is crazy.
We both have, but they work for the mayors. Some of them are appointed by the mayors. There's got to be a mechanism that the federal government has so that the local police can actually identify when an MS-13 gang member is getting out of jail for a crime that some mayor doesn't think is important enough to notify ICE.
Well, General Kelly, you know, the
Yes.
Secretary of Homeland Security, he's doing a great job. Our ICE officers are doing a great job.
They are.
And they just need a heads up. That's just what you say. That's all they need. The detainer is that mechanism. You know, from a prosecutor in New York, one jurisdiction honors the next door jurisdiction. So you finish your sentence of the bad guy, and if they've got a case they want to hold them on, you hold them and turn them over to them. That's what the detainer allows to happen. And what we're doing now is irrational. It makes no sense. It undermines the relationship with the United States government, and I think these cities need to be held to account.
They want to be humane about this. As President Obama said, this is not who we are.
It is a remarkable thought, really. People come to America by permission. They get a visa. It says I can come here for a time, or they break in the border illegally. But they're here at our sufferance. And if they commit a crime here, the law says they shall be deported, not maybe.
Exactly.
Shall be deported.
Okay.
And I don't understand this. We've got to keep the pressure up. We're going to look at these grant programs. If you're not cooperating with the federal government, you're going to lose grant money. We're going to battle on them every step of the way. We're going to put pressure on these cities, and it's just important for America and the people in these cities
to
that this
understand
happens.
how dangerous it is for them.